Alafu najua shida ni alikuwa anionyesha kama mtoto. Cheke vile unainama mpaka unajua
anawako on the askra
ati mnajua mjipanguzange vizuri.
You thought we use the yoke?
Yeah.
This only becomes effective once you're airborne.
Yeah.
Because that controls surfaces on the wings.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're pushing on the tail, that's up, down, pitch, but on ground, these things, you don't touch it.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Hata pia mimi nakusikia.
Did you watch are you familiar with Charlie Sheen?
Damn, uski kitu funny na hiyo nini ya Charlie Sheen sikuwatch. Mimi kitu nilikuwa nafikiri uliwatch ni nani Demon Dash.
Of course. Of course.
Demon was pathetic.
No. Devil's Advocate. So I'll play Devil's
Advocate. Watch it. Let's talk about it.
I'll play Devil's Advocate because I'm a fan of Dame Dash.
Yeah, because nakunga nikikuwatch na nani ukibonga juu Dame Dash.
Huge fan. I like what he
preaches. I'm a Jehovah fan.
He preaches independence, ownership. I like all those things. Probably I think he's going through a rough time, but rough time by whose standards? Because there are so many. The internet, of course, takes things and runs with them.
Yes.
He's bankrupt, broke. From what we can see outwardly, because no one knows. No one knows intimately exactly what it is financially. That guy seems all right, man. He seems like he's living very okay and very comfortable. And where I knew Kina Charlemagne were also, of course, they had fun with the interview because they're masters of their craft. And they knew how to milk it dry. They also knew how to milk it dry. But when they said, for example, the thing about bankruptcy and Trump being a bad businessman, I know you're very anti-Trump and you're not a fan.
Yeah.
But there's also something to be said about finessing your way to billions. You know, there's something to be said about that.
But that is billions.
That was just the beginning.
That is billions. Okay. So endelea. Nataka tu back to Damon. Hata sitaki tubonge jia naitwa nani?
He explained why he filed bankruptcy. Where I felt he was losing credence was the place I felt like now when you start saying things like
my house is bigger than yours.
Yeah. I felt like that was a low blow. But technically I also on a deeper level I also understand because I followed him. I look at his views. He has a lake. He has a beautiful house. So I can also understand how he was
even after bankruptcy.
Yeah, the guy is living all right. Okay, and he makes sure to show it because on Instagram you'll see him playing with his kids in the pool. You can tell this guy is not starving at all.
Okay.
At all. So, and there's also something to be said about that ability to not have to report to a job every single day for fucking 15 years. The Breakfast Club are the biggest, I think, probably earning tons of money from iHeart. But what about the guys who own iHeart?
Yeah.
Guys are living.
Yeah.
And that's all Dame is preaching. That's all. That's all. But if you look at how he lives his life, bro, Dame Dash is a free human being. He's free.
But I think Nini, I think one thing ile tunasahau. Dame Dash has this philosophy of no one should be an employee. And it's bullshit. We mwenyewe you are an employee of
course.
Of
I hate
airline. Nacheki. The way he talks about it, and that's why everyone is like, the way he entered that room and disrespected Akina Charlemagne, that you've been doing this for 15 years. This means that you can't go this. Alafu nasiki Charlemagne akamwambia, yes, but we have money and you're broke. They started provoking him. Because I always feel like that attitude is very dismissive. I see it online. Ile kila mtu anakuwaga be an entrepreneur. But should I ask Ndegwa to be an entrepreneur, Peter Ndegwa wa Safaricom? He earns 28 million a month. So I feel like hiyo ndio kitu moja urab wase vibaya na Demon Dash. The fact that if you are an employee, he looks ani kama anakudemean. Like how the fuck are you an employee? You're supposed to be your own boss. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to...
No, I think it's deeper than that.
Very privileged.
So
yes.
No, he also he preaches from an aspirational standpoint. He told Sway, I remember he famously told Sway, like, you guys, you've had this crazy heart and thing for, it's been 20 years. What, like, evolve, you know, like, what's the, you can't just stay static for, even if I was to do my podcast from the same room for the next 25 years. Wouldn't you look at me like, Eric Bana, where's the growth? Look at how you guys have grown. The point he's preaching is don't carry yourselves like even with my job. I love my job, yes. There's a
Yes.
certain stability it offers me that I cannot deny. But there are guys who own those ndeges, man.
Yeah.
There are guys who own the infrastructure that we use those. For example, there's a company called Tradewinds. Tradewinds facilitate the cleaning of the aircraft. They offer something called a GPU, which is like the ground power unit that we use, like a charger for the phone when you park. If you look at the intricate business they've built around aviation, those are the guys who are winning, not pilots, not employees. Employees it's a systemic thing that has happened to us in our minds, where the aspiration is to become an employee. So there are people in school who are right now gunning one day I want to be a pilot. All I'm saying is, or all he's preaching is, you can still be the pilot but own the plane. There's guys who own their aircraft.
But sasa nisipoweza kuon the plane, does it make me a loser?
No, it doesn't make you a loser.
Angalia hii story.
It doesn't make you a loser, but
Yeah.
but
nataka kujua how many planes
it's
ziko kwa yard sasa.
no, it's the wider message of
Yeah.
because do you believe this system is there are people who kind of pull the strings of the wider system and pull the strings. I'm not talking about some satanic cabal. It's money, man.
Yes.
They intentionally infiltrate even the education system to try and enforce that thing. Why is it in school people are talking about pilot, not astronaut? Or that's intentional and that's systemic. So he's just preaching anti that, but
while being unapologetic at it.
yeah, and his approach is brash.
I think now why would come of me. I'm not even. I would see a Demon Dash post, and then as a Peter, because I think by the time you're like his beef and stuff like that, I was too young. But ukiangalia now on life perspective, na ukiangalia where people are like in the world, uko nasema like umse wa anaitwa nani? Umse manyali win Sport Pesa. But there I will ask you if you believe you won. You want us to go there?
That's a dicey one.
So tulimwambia alikuwa kwa percentage gani in the world?
What do you mean?
Yes. 0.000.
Alikuwa kwa the 1%.
1%.
Yeah, he's a 1% right now. Unajua the guy who won $3 million.
Yes.
If you have over $700,000 as your net worth, you're in the world's 1%.
Wow.
Yes. And what does it take to be in your 1%? Even just kuangalia biashara useme ni aje, there's one thing to speak into existence. You need also luck, by the way. And that is why kuko na 1%. So yes, maybe you might not like being a pilot and stuff.
I love being a pilot, don't get it twisted. I love it.
Exactly. Nasema like systemic. Unajipata sometimes even trying to break that nanini, even where you get the knowledge, sometimes you have to pass through the system. Now maybe sometimes, making out of the system, people die. To become that 1%. So wase wengine, most of them kifinish, wase wengi sasa if you're talking like to the other 99%ers, which make up the majority of the world's population, wambia like you have to nini. And if you asked Jay-Z, is my house bigger than you, misingekuwa na issue. Because that's uniyomse mwenye anajaribu they are both entrepreneurs. But if it's someone else...
And it is a Jay-Z's clothing.
But
it was on some bullshit.
But
yes.
There's another element to this. So he's also a guy of principles and morals.
Yes.
Business, Jay-Z is famously known for... In fact, I was watching Club Sheshe last night where Memphis Bleak was interviewed by Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
Memphis Bleak is Jay-Z's guy, sana.
Yeah.
And he says Jay-Z is all about the ones and the zeros. There's nothing about emotions. So I'll do things, and Murph, you're not like that. The way you're not that kind of person who would take business and just shaft your inner circle. Or there's some principles attached and some morals attached, I don't believe.
Yeah.
So that's also part of why they kind of fell out. Because one guy, yes, entrepreneurship, but there has to be some sense of a value system. And that's where they differ with Hov. But Dem Dash is greatly misunderstood. That whole thing for, like you're saying, the 99%. It's like you're standing with a speakerphone trying to amsha guys. Like, uchangamka. Because if you look at how political systems maintain control, it's the same principle. When you have a political upheaval, it's the same message because people are just dormant and dumbed down. So you can't do it like, hey, waseamka bana, you know, ase wanatunyanyasa mazee. It's the same thing now, just on the entrepreneurial and how those systems are set up. It's the same thing. Yeah, but the interview was good entertainment, man. Dame Dash.
Yeah, it was good. Alafu kitu moja ile nitasema, unajua do I respect the story ya be your boss and all that nini. I'm a hip hop fan, so that comes naturally. Nachiki. And hata nini vile uko nabonga juu ya him talking about being a boss, imenikumbusha this time they were still friends with Jay-Z. And kwa gangster shit Jay-Z sema, who could flip a record company from half a key and drop a gold album, do the math with me, then turn around and go platinum? That would be fuck it, I lost count. Why don't you tell me the amount? Unacheki like this song, alafu unajua gani yeye, it's Jay and Dame Dash, like they used to make the best music pamoja. But sasa wewe unajua, cause you're a Dame Dash fan, unajua the version of Dame that you want. Other people say the reason why they fell out was nani alikuwa anatoka, anaitwa Jay-Z anatoka, maybe ameenda tour. By the time anarudi kwa ofisi anapata everyone is angry because Dame Dash apparently used to treat people like shit. Alafu he used to want to remind them that he's bigger than them because yeye na Jay ndio wameanzisha Rockefeller, so he's the superstar. Unacheki, and in the process hiyo ndio ikaanza kuleta hiyo rift katikati yao, because ilikuwa guy, you're not playing your position. Yes, you are co-CEO, lakini don't try to outshine the talent. Nacheki. That's why Rock Nation is still doing well. I might not agree with a lot of shit that Jay does.
How many people are they rumored to be shafting?
Nini? Rock Nation. Because I'd look at two billionaires. Nani is Rihanna is a billionaire and Kanye was a billionaire. Kanye fucked it up. But those are Rock Nation artists. Yes. So watu nimekuwa nikisikia ni sports. That sports wamepata deals mbaya. But have they come out to say they have bad deals?
What if you found out someone's a billionaire, like worth, I think she's worth like 4B, 3B. What if she would have been worth 25? If things were just structured a bit differently. So Dame famously, even Memphis Bleak talks about it. Jana is like, when he first got his... Remember, record labels were built to shaft people. The business model of a record label is to shaft you. From the moment I identify your talent and I sign you, people are signing on.
Nichora saba.
Smiling because of the bonus, the signing on bonus. But in a sense, you've been enslaved for a long time. And you're going to have to recoup all the money that you're being given. The label are the ones who benefit. That's why from the 90s to the mid-2000s, 2010s, it started becoming a thing where artists are so anti-label because labels have... I mean, look at Prince. Yes. Famously shafted. So Dame was just coming from a different school of thought, telling kina guys like Leo Cohen, we know what you guys are about. You're about shafting artists. But on the flip side, if Leo comes and presents like, yo, Jay-Z, lenga this guy, man, I can get you a B on this side.
Yeah.
Because for selfish interest, he looked at the B and it's like, nah, man, that fight might want to be part of that fight. So it's a philosophical difference. Of course, you're going to rub guys the wrong way. If you come to a company and try to be different, bro, you will rub shoulders, you'll offend people, you'll cross people. People will say you're the problem. But if you examine that thing deeply, man, all he was demanding was for what artists deserve, for them to get what they deserve. That was his biggest fight. Memphis Bleak said he came with his management deal to floss it to Kina Dame Dash. Dame is like, but let me see that deal. He looked at the deal, he's like, fuck, these guys are trying to fuck you. He called the lawyer who drafted that deal, put him on blast, made sure this guy gets a proper deal that suits him. Because guys are signing their lives away in perpetuity, man. And they don't even know. Because maybe there's like a $2 million attached there. So...
But ulifeel nini juu ya him talking shit about nani kuvaa vitu za Jay-Z ati najalipwa? Remember when I was like, what's that you're wearing?
But he said a valid point around that. He said either you're being paid or I can't remember. Either you're being paid, because it's a fair question. Charlamagne, you've never had a contrarian opinion about Jay-Z ever, yet you're one of the most controversial, thought-provoking radio presenters that has existed. So are you being controlled by Rock Nation or Jay-Z? Or are you just scared of the power? Because, bro, who hasn't Charlemagne gone against?
yeah.
But he decried Jay-Z. That's an open.
Okay, hapo mi siwezi sema hivyo because I don't think I've ever looked at it from your point yake na nini na Jay because okay, maybe I need to look at that because me with Jay unajuaga like Jay is one of the rappers that I quote the most on Iko Nini, but I've also said another thing that given a choice kuna time mtu alikuwa watu ulisemaga like whose catalog hata ikidisappear siwezi. I still say me there are rappers who people don't know. Kuna like a certain rapper called Slug, our Atmosphere. If you are to ask me to choose between the Jay-Z catalog and the Atmosphere catalog, strictly for listening, not selling. Of course, for selling the Jay-Z. But for listening, I'd choose Atmosphere's catalog any day over Jay-Z. Because I feel like this is someone talking to me. Jay, yes, I'll quote him like a lot of times. Because kuna zile times where he's talking to everyone about a certain situation. But he does not have those songs where he's just talking to you ni wewe peke yako unaelewa like uko kwa room ko like hii ngoma kiandika alikuwa nafikiria tu juu yangu
and
he never gives me that feeling.
I love Jay-Z, don't get it twisted man. He's been the soundtrack to a lot of parts of my life, like
yes,
where you need that t-shirt motivation. So but the two things can coexist. You know, that's the point. But I love Dame Dash, man.
Okay.
So hiyo time Dame alikuwa na bonga jia t-shirt ya Charlemagne. This is what the lyrics that came to mind. Still Jay ile time yosemanga, and then the fugees go and break up. Now every day I wake up, somebody got something to say. What's all the fussing for? Because I'm grabbing more and I pack heat like I'm the oven door. Niggas pray and pray on my downfall, but every time I hit the ground I bounce up like round ball. And your round ball, I think for Americans that made sense because you know that kid NFL ball does not bounce up. Yes, a bounce up and bounce up like. So I'm like, and I understand the Dame Dash anger. This is your brother. You're supposed to conquer the world, and then this happened. And that's the worst thing about, I always say about people looking at art from the outside. People always expect it to be perfect, and what they forget is this the artist side, and as artists and as creatives wasiuko sana. Like if you listen to unajua ile beef ya Bob Marley and the Wailers, unajua watu wengi wajua hiyo, there was a beef hapo like when they used to be called the Wailers.
Yes, yeah.
And since they were called the Wailers, some dude was like, for you to guys to sell in America, there has to be a lead. Ikakuwa Bob Marley and the Wailers. And Bunny Wailer and Peter Tosh supported it for some time, but they felt some kind of way.
No, they're not going to perform for the oppressors.
Yes.
There's some certain concerts they're not going to attend.
So even at some point, vile Bob Marley alikufa, si ndio ile ngoma inaitwa Burial likatoka. They want I to go to the burial, but this man no go to no man's funeral. That was a diss track. On some reggae shit. So watu fikiriaga, like art is so messed up because when you're in it, you know the love that comes from it, the magic that comes from it. But also to be a great artist, you have to have an ego. Nacheki. And this is where now the ego comes in. Ile like, so now with Jay-Z and Dame Dash, it was such mefika ile level ya dick measuring, like who has the bigger.
And I'll critique Dame Dash for this. There's a part where, because obviously, I mean, there's a lot of, when they fight together, I feel like you betrayed me. You chose a specific path. But there's a time where I felt he was absolutely wrong. And that came from, it's the first time I ever saw him do something out of pure malice. It's when Jay-Z was being accused of that molestation thing.
Yeah.
And he had a lot to say about it. And he didn't say he did, but he was speaking very...
And I insinuate.
Yeah, like, like you've been caught, haha. And that's why for me, I came to respect 50 Cent the most. You all know 50 Cent doesn't fuck with Jay. He doesn't decry Jay like the rest of the industry. Because everyone, I mean, how it's so much. But despite all the funny things 50 Cent has had to say about Jay-Z, because he kept asking, where is Jay? Because famously Jay and Puff were homies.
Yes. And 50 alimuenjoy sana.
But when that accusation came out, 50 he said himself has the manhood or the genius to come and say, this one looks fake. I don't think this is a real story. To me, that's real.
Yes.
We could be beefing, or I could have some thoughts about you, and you're accused of molestation, and I'm like, nah. It doesn't mean he molested someone just because we're at odds right now. So that's the one time I saw them looking a bit out of character. Yeah.
Because vile umesema hivyo imenionyesha pia the power of a billion. during the Me Too movement, in the heat of the Me Too movement, sijui kama mlichekigi, there's a video that was released of Jay-Z back in the year 1998. And I don't know what had happened, but ilikuwa kwa ile concert. There's a tour they did, Redman, Method Man, and DMX. And during that tour, I don't know what some girl did to him. Alafu he was pictured like he was so angry at the girl. He ended up.
I saw that.
Hiyo video siku hizi unajua hizi pata. The power of a billion. Imebariwa.
But what do you mean
Like
buried? What do you mean buried?
buried.
If it's on YouTube and you are Leo and me I'm Eric. Mwafza.
Yes,
Leo is literally the head. They can literally scrap it for you.
Yes. Like getting that video is hard. Because I think one of the things like I love hip hop, and that's why like one of the reasons nikwambia I want to have a conversation
Big homie.
We'll
make
but from
it
very
happen.
different because nyinyi unajua ni watu wa maconspiracy, so hiyo time nataka tu tubonge tu juu ya rap and the culture that it brings, but at some point it brought this culture where you're being misogynistic and being violent with women, being what was cool, nacheki, and
And rapish.
yes,
I said it ain't no fun till they all get some. That's rape.
nacheki hiyo.
ilikuwa
ilikuwa ta chorus, ilikuwa net dog, ain't no fun if the homies can get you know that
I
shit.
got Molly all in her champagne. She didn't know it. I'm like, bro.
alafu hata ila nini ya kina unakumbuka ile kina what's his name, Ice Cube, one pussy and 13 dicks. I'm like, I don't want that. And so ilikuwa na all this nonsense, and during that time I think Jay made that nini, so he's not 100% clean, nacheki,
And no one
he
is.
participated yes, he participated in that violent and that bullshit. Even up to now musemaga I enjoy a lot of rap music, but when I look at the effect that it has on young American kids who feel like being gangster is cool, acheki, like we talked about tuka tulibongana nyinyi hiyo story, but I just did a reaction to it where there's a 12-year-old kid who 3 years ago ended up shooting another kid.
Yeah, we spoke about it with you.
And then that kid now is 15, he's been jailed for 40 years. You see, rap music plays a role in that. It plays a role in glorifying.
Have you guys touched on, first of all, have you guys been following Epstein?
Yeah.
If you
No, the Ninis.
go watch my series on Epstein. I dropped episode 1 on, I think, on Sunday or something. Very nice, educative, informative. I'm giving guys a nice broken down version of the sequence of events.
Yeah.
Episode 2 should be coming out in a few days. And but the way Trump switched up, the way Cash Patel switched up, the way all those guys switched up, for me is just amazing. The people involved in that saga, I think, are the people who run the world.
Yeah.
The way they've been able to chase a
The royal family. There was a Nini
Andrew,
there.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah, Prince Andrew.
And I think and many more. I think he was just the fall guy in that element.
Is
Because
Maxwell alive?
I did Ghislaine is alive.
Okay.
Yeah, she just recently negotiated something with Trump. She was moved to a very sweetheart prison where they send people for financial crimes. They play tennis, you have a gym. So for her to negotiate that, I'm telling the people who are implicated, because from the research I did with my producer, bro, it's in the hundreds of the victims are in the hundreds, and the perpetrators are in the hundreds, and they're all
Powerful.
1%ers in terms of power. So you can imagine. You can imagine.
Bringing them down, itakuwa hard.
You guys, did you cover Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, I covered Charlie. Even majuzi
We did something na also nani?
Mulami Mwitu.
Mulami Mwitu.
About Charlie Kirk.
Look forward.
About
Yes,
Charlie
about
Kirk.
Charlie.
Okay.
So you know me, my sentiments on that. I mean, sinaga gray areas. When it comes to America, I feel like race is such a big issue that the way people downplay it, Upper Africa, where they make it look like it's not an issue. And like, do you know how race is so important in America that after Charlie kusema that black pilots are not qualified, so Charlie would not have been happy flying with you. After
No, but
kusema
the full context, we were arguing with my wife about this yesterday.
hakuna context hapo.
The full context, I'll even share it with the clip. The full context of, there's a video where he's trying to say, because he's saying at some point we have to break away from the race thing. Yes, right now it's a thing.
It's easier to say as a white man.
Chill.
It's easier to say as a white man.
It's a thing, but it's like, even like genetically, if we go down to genetics, and there's no difference between a black and a white person. You're saying the moment you start creating quotas for employment, it's now when he'll see a black pilot and be like, and wonder, is he qualified?
Ndio nakwambia, wewe as a black pilot tutaiangalia hivyo, but mimi unajua kuna so nienjoy like, I'm so invested in American culture. One thing najuaga juu Americans is a black man and a white man go for the same job. The black man always has to be more qualified That's how DEI works. You have to be more qualified. You have to be twice as good. Ilikuwa ni movie gani? Was it which is it Fences? Ila Denzel na nani?
Denzel and Viola.
Ile I
Viola
think
Davis.
it's nani anaambiagao mtoi like
Mtoi wake, yeah.
una live in a white man's world. You have to be twice as good. So don't forget, and hii ni kitu like even a fan wa Iko Nini mwingine anaitwa Rogers Mvua shai to join tukibonga juu story ya DEI. You have to know that wewe kama eotwe, if for you to be employed by an airline, you'll be put through more rigorous tests because they want you to fail so that they can say hatutaki eotwe. So you have to be better than the whites. Wasofikiriaga it's the other way around. No, you have to be better.
But in practical
Nacheki.
sense, I'm just thinking about how an interview for like an airline works. It's a standardized process.
Ndio nakwambia yako sasa, kama kuna kuwaga na turbulence kidogo hivi, wewe tuta make sure sasa we take you through the rigor so that by the time unanini tunajua you are 100% qualified. So the way he used to put it would be like, we're trying to imagine America, the America that you know. Let's even forget race. Ile America unajua, would they put an unqualified pilot juu ya hewa, juu ya New York, juu ya Los Angeles, juu ya California, yani juu ya nini, juu ya Chicago, the America that you know? Let's forget about race. Would they risk all those millions on the ground? First of all, fatalities, alafu second, just lives. Alafu when he brought up your story ya race, what had happened? Ilikuwa inasemekana it's a DI crash. It was a white woman. It was a white woman who was flying close to airport na akadedisha wase. Why? Because the biggest beneficiaries of DEI are white women. Nacheki. Because America, unajua, a lot of stuff happened in America. But apart from that, majuzi, umecheki on, was it on Tuesday? Not on Tuesday, on Thursday. On Wednesday, that is, poleni. Kuna plane karibu ikuwa involved kwa accident.
Nigeria.
Nandia Spirit. Ulicheki story? And this guy is being told, get off the iPad. And I remember I watched...
that correspondence.
Yes, I remember watching that and I said, I 100% want to see who that pilot was. And I'm guarantee it's going to be a white pilot.
But now the insider version of that is... I should say that on camera though. That's standard behavior, man. Like, because of mid-haul, long-haul flights. Guys are chilling. Guys are me good juba. Also could have blanketing guys on his iPad.
So karibu igongane na Air Force One. That would have been a disaster, man. Like, because Air Force One, that's a whole other level. But unachikile kitu nasema jua nini ya shida ya America. I think with DEI, looking at it from the outside, people think that blacks are employed when they're underqualified. You actually have to be overqualified. So kasa hizi, I think kuna boy flani anaitwa Kamau is the head of what at Amazon. I'm sure for you to have a name like Kamau and be the head of something at Amazon, that motherfucker is a genius. I'm sure tukikana Kamau hapa chini tutakuwa zile za damn. That's how you have to be. So people downplay how fikiriagati DEI goes for unqualified black men. You have to be overqualified. If it's a black woman, you have to be overqualified. Check your msaki attack Katanji Brown. Have you looked at Katanji Brown's like qualifications? And now the counter argument would be, if Katanji Brown is not qualified, then what does this mean? Does this mean that every Kenyan who's gone to America and ended up being an engineer or something, they are underqualified and they only got their degrees because of being black? So Angalia Katanji, Harvard University, Harvard Law School. This is her, and now she's in the Supreme Court.
So do you feel, because there's also now the other side of things where people are celebrating his death, where they were saying it was poetic justice. Do you also feel like that's the case?
No. Do I feel sorry for him? Not really, because he used to enjoy talking shit about dead black people and saying they deserved it and they were pieces of shit. He used to ask for public executions and he was executed in public. Is it the only thing I hate about story yake is the fact that he had a different opinion. Na mimi hapa Kenya nakuwaga na very different opinion on a lot of subjects, so I get a lot of hate for that. So I'd not want someone to die for a different opinion. But pia naangalia ile side ingine niko like, this is the bed. You're the one who said that a few innocent people dying from gun violence just for...
But also makes you fear guns, eh?
Yes.
It's not even about
imagine if Kenya had guns at Carrefour. Someone at work, someone can snipe you as you're walking.
You guys crazy.
Because
Crazy.
if the conventional story is true, that guy who shot him was just a dude. It's not that he
yeah.
So imagine if
Of course kuna
I've seen Candice
those
Owens.
conspiracy theorists wanasema like could have been 35 by the time elections are being held in the US. So he's 31.
Then the JD Vance was being, I don't know if that was real, but he was being proposed to take over the show. And you know JD
Yeah,
Vance.
he did like an episode kwa hiyo channel. Because one thing ile nanibamba is the way they are treating this guy as the coming of Jesus Christ. So even by the time we were recording, you know, they've cancelled Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely. Umesikia story?
Yeah.
Alafu Jimmy Kimmel, I have the clip
Oh,
for you to show you. Like this is the
It's
reason
so-
why.
Jimmy Kimmel was a Democrats man.
Yeah. But
Because it's
But
it was
cancelling is a
so-
step too far.
whatever amesema.
And this is outside this is outside his ratings.
yes.
Nothing to do with his ratings.
No, nothing to do with his ratings. He just made a joke that he was not supposed to make. And that's why waswana cheka wanasema that the party of freedom of expression is now all of a sudden not pro freedom of expression. Wacha tusikize what
I think they should
Kimmel
not
said.
cancel his show if he was
Wacha
not.
tumsikize.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes.
Skinny, but
Stage of grief, construction.
he's on the fourth stage.
First stage of-
That's funny. That's
This
funny.
is what
it was funny.
this is what made them pull him.
made him.
Alafu unajua, that's why unachikigi like people will always say that I'm very liberal and what but I look at the way I look at Republicans only care about race. It was okay to joke about Trayvon Martin, a kid killed at 17. You remember they used to do Trayvoning? Kunajua hiyo? Where the white kids would buy Skittles alafu wanaenda napiga picha. It was okay to do the George Floyd challenge. Remember the George Floyd challenge? But all of a sudden, it's not okay to joke about Charlie Kirk. So it's okay ku Trayvon.
But
It's okay kunini.
that's
But hii moja,
The
hawezi.
stages of
But that's a funny.
that was
That
funny.
doesn't warrant being kicked
May I
off.
watch
That's a
it in
funny
the
joke.
morning
Yeah, it's a funny joke. That's
for
why
like 4 or 5
nakwambia.
times. I'm there like
That's funny.
mpaka I was even looking for other
But
clips.
what's the legal stand?
I think
No,
he's
no.
going to sue.
Ama
I
they
think
pull-
akisue, they'll have to. Okay, kuna msaliambia si kusue ni kusue. Okay,
Yeah, kusue.
them. Yeah, but you know, like I'm African and I know what's happening. Okay, ni kusue. Ata sue, and if he sues, what's going to happen is this falls under the First Amendment. So I may go against his First Amendment rights. So I think another thing they're going to do maybe is pay him the rest of his contract. And of course, if he goes to YouTube, unajuanga zile zao, they go to YouTube, they just become instant millionaires. Because hizo views za states are different.
It's
Unajuanga zile
different.
views za nani? Za ule dem, anaitwa nani? Candice. Candice does like
You guy, but
3
Candice,
hours, 500,000
Candice
views.
is a
Half it's
beast,
American
John. Candice
views.
is a beast.
Yeah.
Candice is a beast. Whatever you think about her politically,
Yes.
her
As a businesswoman,
her journalistic and her business abilities are
unmatched.
are apex. Yeah.
Yeah, so niko sure. So I'm waiting to see. Unachikivile joke ni funny. But
funny.
vile niko nasema now, you know, so nauliza like you're the party of freedom of speech, but it's only freedom of speech if you're saying things that we agree with.
I'm wondering what legal standing they used. Ama Trump called his guys who own networks or what?
Oh, your story, yeah? So it's all about money. There's someone who did a feature on it, and they were saying you just need to follow the money. So umse wa FCC apparently ni based ya kuna mse wa FCC that ni based ya nani anaitwa what FCC wanted to combine, wakataka kucombine na nani. Kitu hata nimesahau. It was such an interesting, someone broke it down. I think unajua ile Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper. Yeah, he broke it down on how it's all about money at the end of the day. You'll think about ati utafikiria ni juu ya this ama this, but it's money. Unajua money talks, bullshit walks. Wacha tusikize.
So how do we make sense of the fact that late night host Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely lost his show because of comments he made Monday night in which he said that the MAGA gang was really trying hard to prove that Charlie Kirk's assassin was not one of theirs so that they could score political points. That's what he said. Well, follow the money. In August, Nexstar, the largest owner of TV stations, local TV stations in the country, announced that they wanted to purchase their rival Tegna for more than $6 billion. Now, in order for that deal to go through, Nexstar would need the approval of the Federal Communications Commission. And in fact, they would need the FCC to lift the cap, a 39% cap that the FCC has, which is a rule that states no company can own enough TV stations to reach more than 39% of the households in the United States.
Scare you. No TV nini can own more than whatever. But sasa mnataka kuinunua at 6.2 billion. So it's always about the money. Najua hivyo. So like these people don't care about Charlie. Umechikio story ya Trump akiulizwa. Iko like, oh, construction is continuing.
Amesema, I've been doing very well.
Yeah, doing very well.
Actually, I've been doing very well.
Construction is...
Hata fourth stage I agree.
Construction.
Demolition, construction. Yes.
Alafu najua kuna kitu moja niliambia wasi hapa kwa pod majuzi.
Yeah.
Nilinotice last week on Thursday tukiwa pamoja that you really know how to kuenjoy us our coast. I've never seen you doing voices. That I was impressed.
Oh, when we did the...
Gonna do Joho na kina Blue somewhere. Yeah. I was there like, this dude.
Yeah.
Because every time ukikujaga hapo na kwaga somehow serious.
Yeah, no, ni politics and...
But I told you I fear those guys also. That's a specific group of guys we discussed that day. I'd even rather talk anti-Trump, even the president, yeah.
Yes.
But that specific group of...
Yeah, hapo lazima. Sikwambia stand-up ya nani Amandip was funny. Like your stand-up ya Amandip, you're like, nowadays I do comedy in different counties. I'm just from Mombasa. Alafu atike, pile nilifika Mombasa nilisema, I can't joke about the governor. Because the way he does it, like, I'm not doing any justice to you, Nini. Like, it's so crazy. People are just losing their shit, yani. Hey, Amandip did a...
That was a really fun time at that event. That was a really fun time. Got to meet your wife, lovely lady, full of stories, man.
Yeah.
You guys must have podcasts in your relationship, man.
Sometimes you just sometimes you want them to shut up. But wife
was fun.
like I think even you na pia Ian being compatible na wife your wife waga like one of the best things.
It's a gift.
Like you'll fight, you'll have ugly fights, but those peaceful moments are so good that you're there like, you know what, at least I have a life partner. And that's why pia like the masculinity channels always find them to be bullshit because they always tell people your woman is your enemy, is your enemy. And I don't think you can approach life evil because I think you watched the Dame Dash interview. So when the OG came in na alikuwa na bonga Ian just sikia hii ilikuwa kama yako OG alikuwa anasema kuna time amepigana na wasee aka break knuckles zake. So amewekewa bandages. If you na bandages and you want to go to the toilet,
yeah, you can't.
Akasema wife ndio alikuwa anampango.
Yeah, man.
Because and then it's like, I know you guys are talking about...
Let me agree. Yeah.
Wait. There's a story there?
Yeah, there's a story there.
What happened?
Sino nimeletea nini muscle relaxers. So we had that challenge, the gym challenge and stuff like that. So that was my first time actually doing
your hands became
yeah, so now stiff, man. You know, nikiamka nakuanga stiff only one part. So now my whole body was stiff, man. Jioni mpaka nikapigia maf kaambia like, now where do you nini from this? Nakumbuka hata RAPCHA alinicall akaniuliza, buda ni aje, uko poa? Unajua nimeona Mr. Diongo jana ulinunua sijui nini. So he advised me to get muscle relaxers. Nikaona by the time inafika 6 because I called him because he aliji-overdo. Was it 70 or 80? I can't remember.
Yeah, try 70.
Alitry 70.
Kamlemea.
So nikauliza mwaf because your time to overwork. Yeah, alikuwa ameamua anaenda ku-overwork. Juu ya
had to win.
He had to win.
Yeah.
Nikamuuliza jioni, how are you feeling? Nikamwambia, I'm just from the gym. Go like, fuck this.
I'm all right.
Yeah, niko poa. Wewe? Kawambia unajua I'm debating style za kutoa sweater because it was cool.
Can I just add to that?
Yeah.
I remember once being in bed after I think my first day of gym, and now trying to wonder how am I gonna get out of bed? Am I gonna roll over because my hands were not working?
Yes, because ilifika point unacheki vile unaweza uko kwa bed and then you have to change position ulalia hii
Change position.
nilikuwa naamka nilikuwa najiscoot out of bed and then I turn kama nimesimama so ilifika time ya shower. Now we get into this story, nikaambia wife, now I have to be the nurse. So really kachukua towel because I couldn't even lift shit. Akanitoa nguo.
Asikia hiyo?
Akaniambia shower. I could describe my ass, man.
I know the funny thing is
Alafu najua shida ni alikuwa anionyesha kama mtoto. Cheke vile unainama mpaka unajua
ana work on the askra.
ati mnajua mjipanguzangi vizuri.
but you know
But yeah, tunakuanga cause funny hata vile ulikuwa unasema like how we relate na wives. Hata kuna msee alikuwa niuliza like utaniambia like how to get to be in a good relationship. Nikamwambia mimi I'm lucky cause akunanga and even tell my wife akunanga, it's not even a privilege. It's not an achievement like being married, because at some point it works, at some point it doesn't.
Yes
Because by the time we ukichoose your partner hakuitisha your flight hours sindio?
not at all.
Yes, na ukumuitisha whatever she does. We ukumuitisha sijui certificate ya KCP. It's not an office.
It's
ni zile
luck.
vitu ni luck tu. You just
You find
mnaenda
someone
pale
who's
you experiment.
compatible with yours.
Ikiwork sawa, isipowork yeah. So,
And then that companionship thing, like bro, no, like, and Dame Dash's OG went to emphasize,
yeah.
your best friends are gonna wipe your ass, bro.
Yeah, man.
You're not gonna wipe your
Yeah,
ass. Like, only a wife can do that.
Yeah.
That's why unachikigina like when I always attack easy masculinity channels, I learn people will be there like you're a feminist. Does not make me a feminist. It just makes me someone who knows the reality of life, that if Ian angenipigia niambia kuja unioshe niambia buda
Dioshe na hii.
buda jo dioshe unacheki, but wasome kama wakaambiwa hivyo. Alafu I think we separate women from our mothers so much that we don't see that the first woman you ever loved for most of us ni our mother. Yeah. And there used to be these perfect people who can't make a mistake. Na sayo kwa budako ni kadem tu fulani. Budako yuko atasikua nataka huyu tu. Ule dem kwa naangalia alikuwa na matako kubwa kushinda huyu lakini.
Yeah.
See? So for your dad it's just a girl. But for you it was this whatever. So kuna kwa gana watu wako na za ovyo. But yeah, it was a really good event. Okay. Pia hanging out hapo baadaye pia na Kisiangani na Bashir nacheki.
That was the first time nilimit Sajid as well.
Oh yeah.
Because ilikuwa na watu wengi for the first time. That's when they are meeting. Like ujamitu because you're there like kwa nini unachai kuja nini yangu?
Sajid is a solid guy.
Yeah.
Ikolo
And those Kisiangani
because ilikuwa
funny, like the real meaning of funny motherfuckers.
Yes.
They're funny all the time.
Yeah.
Like they don't switch off. Okay, me every time I hang with them, they're funny from the moment we start talking to the moment to a channel. Like they're in character all through.
Yeah, mpaka nataka kuambia wasajaochio podcast ilifanya nao waende waiwatch like so this dude Kisiangani starts zile hey, so mwafi nicheki mlikuwa na Kalonzo kusiko straight after Kalonzo then he was like so ulimulizaka yo unyonga like that's one thing ile na ninigijua Kisiangani like he never switches off that comedian thing like you saw the last episode tulifanya naye hapa uliona?
Was he here with someone else?
Yes, with Bashir.
Bash. Yeah.
You know, he just learned that his sister died.
I remember that.
And they made sure that I didn't know. And that show was funny. They were bonga Nyongathon.
Did you see him on Sajid's?
Yeah, Sajid's Jamoch.
It was shot in my studio, but it's on his platform. They first started, they were talking about the dad's funeral, bro, and the humor that the guy...
Oh, yeah, at the brother.
The guy...
I have to go watch that.
No, he mentioned. Because now when you are, Mofa alikuwa ameenda kuchukua card kwa edit room. So I see Kisiangani just pick up the phone. Then akascoot kaangalia Bashir kamwambia. So Bashir noted because they talked about, the situation of the sister on their way here. So Nila kamwambia, oh, ni shit, it may happen. So mikamuza, kwani you've been fired? Kaambia now, Mustasis ni kama, and they're like, damn, can Bastusiambia Moaf is going to ruin. Yeah. So at some point, for sure, tuna discuss funeral ya nani? Ya Budak. Then I'm there like, damn, man.
I wish I didn't know.
Kusunajua mimi sasa, mi sijabrifiwa and I'm the one driving the conversations. So mi najua I'm still going everywhere.
So no sensitivity.
Yeah, no sensitivity. I'm still going everywhere.
Hapo ndio pia Bashira kabonga about, is it the younger bro? The younger bro, yeah. It's the same. So niko
Si Bashira banga jua Budak. Because Bashir pia discover kwa bed.
Budaken, alafu Budak, nani, his smaller bro. Nani alicontinue playing with the
Yeah, the smaller bro, yes.
Yes, akasema, maybe at some point, he might need some help because naogopa it might hit him. So we are there talking about all this death. Alafu Kisiangani anasema vile Budak alikama kamwambia, man up.
Straight up.
Was it something like that? Yes.
But
So
grief,
so is a-
grief, yeah.
Yeah, but Kisiangani is a funny dude. Afu najua the funny thing about it, like tusijaiambiaga watu ni mimi at the first time nilionaga Kisiangani on stage because you know the way he's hyper. So it took me a minute before nianze kusi ukuchaga utaona kila mtu amekuja. Then Kisia, I was like, what the fuck is this dude shouting like this? And then now after you go through the shouting ni kama MOP Onyx, now you start listening to the Hume and you're like, this is a funny motherfucker.
But to see
it's such a funny
to
dude.
see how it has grown, because I used to go to Blues Lounge in 2017-18 when all of these guys were complete novice. Maybe Amandip had some hours under his belt, and to see what it's turned into, man, that consistency, sticking to your craft,
is key.
it's amazing.
imekuwa kali sana.
I like you guys to pitia sometime next week, either next week towards the end or next week we do another collab with the two.
Tutafanya man.
Yeah.
Man.
But I resume work on Saturday. My uncle now, I think my uncle would be better by then. But yeah.
Saa at least nini inaitwa ndege si lazima ukanyage
No,
clutch.
you need because we have
But si lazima ukanyage sinime uko jukuna kwa
Kuna
we have rudders.
Yeah?
We have rudders. So on the takeoff roll, my feet are on the rudders, left, right. That's what controls the nose like this. So on the captain side, there's something called a tiller. That's the nose wheel. So for very sharp turns at very slow speed, he turns with that. The nose wheel, you see the nose wheel do like a turn like this and turn like that. But ground movement is done by legs primarily.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. You thought we use the yoke.
yeah.
This only becomes effective once you're airborne,
Yeah.
because that control surfaces on the wings.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're pushing on the tail, that's up, down, pitch, but on ground, this thing is, you don't touch it.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Hata pia mi nakusikia tu. Nasikia tu nabonga jia.
Oh, sorry.
So mi naonaga mkipul.
On ground, the aircraft, I'm just saying the aircraft,
Yeah.
that steering wheel is not used on the ground for turning.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You use your feet. Rudders, they're called rudders.
Alafu but take off ndio new pull hivi.
Take off, yeah. We use
So kama take off mna pull hivi, vile mtu endaga gym, mtu akiwa na muscle size overpull.
So when you're saying that story for how you are unable to use your arms, I remember also the first time I went to fly when I just started gym. So before we line up on the runway, we do something called a control check, where I remove something called a control lock and I confirm that this thing has full range of motion.
Yeah.
Forward, back, left, right. Just to confirm that, when we start putting power and we're trying to take off, this thing works.
Yeah.
I was struggling to just pull, kunt, Kapi help me, bana. That thing, even your daughter can.
Yeah.
I know.
Because nimeshindwa bana.
Mtu isha.
Niko unaangalia vitu hivi unachoka. Una like, can't do this. And I know I can on a normal day.
Chest. I remember.
Because nini, one of the things ile nezataka, have you back to the gym?
So that's when I had my incident. That was
Ndio ilikuwa yes, go back to the gym. One thing nataka uchange kwa your gymming thing is I want you to even if it's for 1 month, just get a trainer or could train to inaitangwa to failure. It's one of the most interesting things because these dudes understand how things work. So mtaanza na 60 kgs and you'll be there doing your 60, you're doing your 50, mtamaliza na 5 kgs and you can't do it. Alafu now you see your trainer laughing because unajua sasa wanakuambia you've trained to failure, like you deplete all your muscles. It reaches a level where kwenda juu na chini they're just helping you, but it still stings in a choma unaenda
and you feel like a girl because you're doing those side curls and then the guy has to like help your hand move up.
So nafikiria hiyo nini unafaa kuzoe mostly you self train just for 1 month, just get one because waja ufiti wa trainers especially at night they're affordable because the demand is not like during the day. Just try for 1 mwezi moja uta notice why people end up getting them because you find if you're training yourself mostly when you reach failure you'll stop immediately, but if you have someone there pushing you, you'll find yourself doing things you wouldn't do like on some random day.
Okay.
So najipata unajipush.
I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
I've just seen this be trying to get your views on it. UAE announces visa ban on Ugandan starting 2026.
Yeah.
Like a blanket ban.
Raising concerns over migrant jobs and trade. Because you've seen the BBC Nini feature on the
Wale mafala.
trafficking wa UG, Ugandans.
Oh, okay, sijacheki.
Oh, the pimp.
Yeah, the pimp.
That guy was Ugandan.
Yeah, the pimp is Ugandan.
Oh.
So
sorry, my bias
and
already gone to
Nigeria. Kuna madem actually walikufa. So it's like 2023, 2022.
Oh, I remember you need a pimp.
Yeah, it was the Potter party. Potter party. So Potter party is actually nasty shit.
No, literal shit.
Literal, because
you go there to be shot on.
They defecate on you, so they beat you.
Funny enough, I've not watched that.
Nini wakapass. Kuna ude mwenye anaitwa Monica never made it back home. So alizikwa somewhere in some cemetery in Dubai. So udem kuna journalist of BBC now ameanza, it's like the murder tapes of something, but now even exposing the trafficking ring and stuff like that. But of course for the last like 2 days imekuwa trend like wherever. So but nimeona sahi, but I feel it's a bit harsh on Ugandans because these are actually people wenye walitolewa UG with promises of jobs, but they were not aware of what kind of jobs they were going to do. So if nakumbuka one of the victims alikuwa anasema, so this guy takes you anakushow like help me with your passport, anakuambia so now the first few days anakupeleka these malls na nini na party. So kumbe pia maita mabeshte wake, they see the type of girl that you have. So now back ndio anasema I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. Na check. So if you don't conform, he leaves you in a room with no water, no food. So at the end of the day, and then you're in a foreign land, you have to play by his rules.
But why the blanket?
Alafu unaenda unakuwa exploited. So but I feel for actually Ugandans who are traveling to,
why the blanket?
Because it's not their fault.
Why the blanket ban on other Ugandans?
Yeah. It's not their fault. But Uko.
It shows you how
guys
one a-hole can mess up for everyone.
Imagine, And then me I thought he was some
literally and figuratively.
Nilikuwa nafikiria that kadu you get to watch it and maybe you'll give your nini. Niki watch it, I thought this guy is just from some other part of the nacheki. And sana this is just a ring of network of him and his fellow countrymen. Even like love for your country.
Utu,
yani he's fucking that country up. Money. I know it's money. Yeah.
I think ukishajuaga juu ya money nakwaga tricky sana. You start seeing people are wild out here. But on the day tunashuti mi na Ian tunaishia kwa launch ya Samsung is launching a 100-inch AI TV. So I want to go look at it and see also pia if I can talk to 1 or 2 people at Samsung and tell them I'm the OLED guy. Yeah, get me a more OLED person
measuring
yes, because you should see where you can watch where you love something and you're player hating chini ya maji una player hate. So I was watching nani aki-advertise OLED anaitwa Jeff.
Yeah.
You go, oh, extraordinary. Yeah. And they're like,
Wow, it's TV.
yes, TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I remember when he did the advert ya nini ya OLED, what was trending was his house,
Yes.
But I think they also tried to show.
not the TV.
They were trying to identify the TV with a
With-
social strata.
Yes, najua. And I think, which is a good thing, but I think Kenya, unajua, we only deal with macro influencers. We also need to deal with micro.
Yeah.
Because micro, wanafanyanga watu, they need the call to action.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who bought OLED TVs because of me. Nacheki? They just goes, mwaf alisifu na mwaf anaielewa. Are there people maybe wamenunua because of Jeff? Yes. But itakuwa the few rich people. Mi nita influence hata ule msesim rich but anaweza afford a certain level of OLED to want to take an
Yes,
OLED.
because also technology is getting cheaper.
Yes.
At
But
some
yeah,
point si wasi wengi walikuwa na 4K TVs in 2030. Unakumbuka tukiangalia bei za ilikuwa kwa store
That guy is
moja.
making bank. I met him
So
at the airport.
yes.
I even got his number, man. He was a gentleman about it. But hey, you can just tell the guy has bank.
nani?
Jeff.
Yeah, iko.
Yeah, iko.
But pia wacha tujitetea tujafika hiyo umri so tujuta
No. You'll be richer for sure. What are you talking about?
yes. So yeah, Buddha, imekuwa ni episode 520. Tume have a topic that only Eotwe could make us talk about. We not plan to talk about that. You know that, right? It's just that you umekuja, that's why we talked about it. And it's
Appreciate
because
it,
we
man.
also like respect you like that.
Appreciate
And
it,
of
man.
course we respect our brother RAPCHA. We hope that he becomes the prodigal brother and comes back home. And we can pick it up from there. Wanasemaga I can't quote the Bible. Prodigal brother.
And I like to plug, of course, I'll always plug my show. Go check out Every Other Time with Eric on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go check out the Epstein series. I just dropped episode 1.
And the part 2 is coming out.
Part 2 coming out in a few days.
Yeah.
Other episodes are there that are bangers, man. Big homie CC.
Yeah.
We have the trio and many others. In fact, Akina Farid also need to make their way to this couch.
Yeah. And I look forward to Farid and Sajid. Yes. So imekuwa ni Iko Nini episode 520. Kama kawaida tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Tukimalizia tukisema Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.